What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Welcome to the morning bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. And I am joined alongside by young Jose Bouquet, back in business with us here at Pub Sports Radio. Jose, how are you, my friend?
Good. Excited to talk about the slate today. I'm only really, putting in action when I'm with you guys, so that's fun. And I enjoy doing it with you guys. So shout out to you guys. And I will say, Jimmy, before yesterday's game, I did bet the San Antonio Spurs to win the series, down 2-0. So we'll see how that'll plus 344. It wasn't a great number, and I didn't put enough on it to really make my local sweat on it. But I'm glad I put something on it. So it should be a fun series now.
Yeah. Well, it was already a fun series, man. But add a little action there. Yeah, I mean, look, we could get it all.
We could indeed get it all. Yeah, you're right on track. So I was thinking about it, obviously.
Could get it all. What did the Spurs need? The Spurs were in trouble and they needed Trump to come in and give them a boost.
Yeah.
Piss off the city. It's just the Spurs fans must be very thankful here. Another winning day yesterday, 6-2 in MLB. So Jose, the Wednesday 8-3, Thursday 6-2, Friday 15-1, Saturday 3-5.
Is 15-1 good?
It was Sunday off, Monday 6-2. So we are 37-13 plus 23.41 unit run in MLB.
Who fucking needs me?
It's wonderful. It is wonderful. Look at Steven Fehrenbach says, great day to make 10 units. Why not us? Steve, you're absolutely right. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. We have Jose Bouquet here on a Tuesday. We have a big, juicy MLB card to attack. Game 4, the Stanley Cup Finals. 3 spots in WNBA. I expect, we've beaten that line move on the Lynx by 2 points. I expect that to continue to increase. I think that's just a beautiful spot that we attacked there. And I'm excited. I'm excited to have you here with us. Shout out to everybody joining us sick from the fall in the house. We got Dougie Wise, Triggered Talk, Coins Action here. Let's get Coins Action. Miami money line. Another thing, Jose, when you're running, like when you start running nice, you take longer and you analyze a little bit more. And I like my cards so much that there's a bunch of additions, but I'm like, I don't know. My card, I think, is.
You're just telling me you're going to shut it down?
I don't know.
Before it even starts, you're just going to shut it down.
I really like my card. And there's about, like, I've made 7 bets in MLB. There's probably 7 to 10 more I could add. And I'm like, I think this is a winning card right here. These 7 bets are a winning card. Steve Fehrenbach, OG Bobby Johnson. We got Swiggy on the 1s and 2s. The Nuke Worker in the house. And speaking of the Nuke Worker and Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals, let's talk about what's going on in our big Pub Sports Radio NHL playoff pool, coming down to the wire between the Nuke Worker and Peter Loshak, coming down to the wire. And there's a lot on the line because there's 24 entrants, so there's $2,400 there. But then we have a $500 salty bonus from Harbor Acres Cottages, and it's a 10-point lead for the Nuke Worker. 10-point lead. And Loshak has 5 extra players going, wow, just right down to the wire. So Nuke Worker with 259, Loshak with 249. They're just dominating out here. So shout out to you, gentlemen, and making the finals a little bit more exciting, knowing that you guys are battling here. So shout out to you guys. Shout out to Harbor Acres Cottages as well. Love it. So Nuke Worker Gamma Ray play of the day is in. I'll put it under Coins Action. Gamma Ray play of the day is the Pittsburgh Pirates at -110. That's a game that I just am in love with. I haven't moved on it yet, but I cannot wait to talk about it. Dodgers, Pirates. Man. It doesn't look like the rain's going to affect it now, which is huge. Lauer coming over from the Jays. Skeens, of course, the beast. So that's going to be a lot of fun to talk about. And Von Polo took San Antonio plus 190 when they were down. Nice job. Says that athletics game was crazy last night. Kelly McInnes in the house. And Coin says Raiders vs. Patrick's played at Las Vegas Ballpark in Summerlin last night. What a shootout. He says, and Colorado plays in this park after this 3-game set with Milwaukee. Yes, a lot of action. There's Colin Gregory in the house. Dougie Wise, while you have been gone, Jose, my friend, Dougie Wise has been eaten, man. Dougie Wise has cashed 6 straight free bands plays of the day in our chat, and 12 of his last 15. Daniel Hernandez has action here. Dougie Wise says Spurs in 6. I would prefer 7. But 6 would be just fine. I would not. There'd be no complaints here if it was in 6. But I don't think we've heard the last of the Knicks. Let's just copy and paste all of this. Where did I put it in the wrong spot? Shoot, I think I put that in the wrong spot. That's fine. I'll move them over here. But let's get Daniel Hernandez's action here. Baltimore moneyline Pirates. I'm interested in Baltimore as well. 4-6-2 for life, ready to get to work. Robert Cherry in the house. Thank you guys for joining us. And there it is. I was, it's something just didn't feel right. Oh, there's the boot. It's a good looking boot, man.
All right. It's a good looking boot.
Yeah,
we won't talk about how I've been holding up for 5 minutes waiting for you to say something, and my shoulders are about to fall off. Great boot. Great boot.
Good looking boot, man.
Great boot. I mean, very worth it.
Oh, yeah. I know you're a lucky man. You are a lucky man. Sigfrid Falls only took 15 minutes. Sorry, I was focused on the chat and not our Jose Bouquet. I was like, something's not right. Something is not right. The most consistent thing in our lives, Jose.
Taxes?
No, not taxes. This is the most consistent thing in our lives.
Stacks, 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 stacks.
Jose Ramirez over 1.5 bases. Corey Seager. God, Kyle's long gone. Corey Seager over 1.5 bases. Right below it. And look at our friend. The Newquaker says he'd throw that in the garbage. Hey?
Wow, Newquaker. Wow.
And there's cold-blooded in the house. His first day in the chat, invited by Lil Domo. Says on the Braves early. What up, cold-blooded? We love our guy Lil Domo. Chill Will, the whole family over there. Respect, man. So cold-blooded in the house. All right, Jose, let's get to work, man. We're running hot. We need to keep this cash rolling in. We must. There's still a lot of work to do to climb out of the hole that I dug for myself in the beginning of the year. But you know what we say, Jose. There's nothing more dangerous than a gambler with hope. And that is me, my friend. Let's get to work. Let's attack. Take it away. Let's roll.
Yes, let's roll here into Orioles. Is it Orioles Seattle? Yes, it is Orioles Seattle. Sorry, I'm typing in Logan Gilbert right now to see how he's been doing in the last few starts because he's had an up and down season, to say the least here. He's given up 7 earned runs in a start here, 4 earned runs, 3 earned runs. But his last one was the 3 earned runs against the Mets on 2 home runs. But stabilized, went back-to-back shutouts against the A's and the Royals. Both on the road. Both teams aren't very good here. So very interesting. If you look, it's still early. And if you look at his home road splits here so far, 45 innings pitched at home, 5.6 ERA, 28 2/3 pitched on the road, 0.94 ERA. So that's already a fascinating thing to think about in this game 1 here. He's going up against a fun, interesting pitcher that we've talked about many a times in Trevor Rogers. Jimmy, how are we feeling about Trevor Rogers? What's the temperature nowadays on Trevor Rogers?
Look, it depends if the glass is half full or the glass is half empty. Obviously, it depends what you're drinking.
Sure.
But that was a great start. He's coming out of 5 2/3, allowed 1 earned run, 8-2 win at your Boston Red Sox. He shut you guys down, and the Mariners don't hit lefties. Yeah. And this line's moving towards the Baltimore Orioles. So, I find the whole Trevor Rogers. Look. I mean, is he what he was last year? No, but he's not as bad as he's looked this year. And look. I mean, this market is telling us to believe in Trevor Rogers, Jose. I don't know if we're going to listen.
Yeah, it is indeed saying to bet Trevor Rogers in this game, and I, for one, will not be listening. as I am not a Trevor Rogers guy, backer, or believer here. Minus 120 is where it opened for Seattle here at Bet Online. Quickly got down to minus 112, minus 105 each way at one point this morning. And actually semi-recently moved back to Seattle, minus 108. Now Seattle, minus 102. Orioles there. Heritage, minus 114 to... it's opened up at minus 124 and is now minus 114 there. So it's definitely moved down in their direction with 80% of the bets and 78% of the money on the Orioles here. But not enough for me to get on the Orioles personally. What do you think?
Look, I find the Orioles extremely appealing. I just really, really like my 7 bets on my card right now, and I've been hesitant to add them. TV Jones backing the Orioles, Von Polo backing the Orioles. We got Wine Time Sports, Nasty Nate in the house, Justin McKelvey on the over 8.5. We talk about the price difference. There was just, as we speak, another 3-cent move towards Orioles. It's now a pick 'em at Penny, and the first 5 though is still the Mariners minus 120. So that's interesting. The Mariners are minus 104 full game and minus 120 first 5. So, Logan Gilbert's been good. I mean, he's just been lit up in a couple starts. He was lit up May 16th at home versus the Padres. He's got, as you saw from the graphics, this weird home road splits where he's not delivering at home and he's pitching quite well on the road. I can stay off of this, but with some discomfort, the idea that the advantage would be full game on the Orioles rather than first 5 is a little surprising because this Mariners bullpen, 3.17 ERA, 1.29 WHIP last 30 days. I guess it's the Orioles are hitting so much harder than the Mariners right now that you want 9 innings. Orioles against righties last 32, 64, 795 OPS. Von Polo says Baltimore in the under. I guess I don't need to be on the spot, but I'd certainly be looking only towards the Orioles if I wanted to add to it, and I have some interest in it. I'm surprised to see 80% of the tickets, 78% of cash on the Orioles according to Odds Logic. That's a surprise. 63 and 82 on the over, and I'm off the spot at this point. But it's Baltimore or nothing. I also had some interest in that first 3 under as well, expecting Rogers to pitch well and Logan Gilbert to continue pitching well on the road. I don't know why I necessarily wouldn't want to be involved in it. There's been a 5-cent move to the over. That's it. And, I thought we had offensive weather or plus 4% runs, plus minus 6% homers, plus 8% doubles, triples, plus 7% singles. Like, I guess if I wasn't on this run right now, I would probably, I'm going to cut Baltimore first 5, and then I'm still going to have some concern about the bullpen. So I guess the first 3 under is still in play. We have Warbucks on the other side with Seattle money line. Chris Warren in the house. So I guess I still have interest in that first 3 under. I don't know if I get there, but I have interest, and I'm going to I'm going to completely delete Baltimore first 5.
Okay. No action for me here, and we will roll on to Diamondbacks versus the Marlins here. Zach Gallen versus Max Meyer here. Minus 115 opener. It was a minus 129 at one point. Is now minus 125. So obviously 10 cents over to the Marlins here. With Zach Gallen on the bump and 60% of the bets and 81% of the money on Arizona. I mean, look, I have a vividness bias, as our friend Jimmy the Bag would say, with Zach Gallen. When I see him, I think he's a good pitcher. I picture the good picture, and he has just, like, since last year when I keyed him into being one of the guys I wanted to back last year going into free agency, thinking that he's a pending free agent. He's got to pitch well to get his money. Didn't pitch well, didn't get his money, and he's not pitching well again here this year. 5 runs. 4 of them earned against the Dodgers, 5 earned runs against Seattle, 3 earned runs against the Rockies. It's just truly has not been a guy that I could back with confidence this year. I mean, a thing if you want to back him here, if you're looking for reasons to back Gallen, and this is not a reason to back him today, but He's got a 3.65 ERA at home so far. Again, small sample size, whatever, but 3.65 home ERA, 7.57 road ERA this year so far, and he's obviously on the road against the Marlins here. So it's been fascinating to try to watch and see what Zach Gallen is going to end up being, but he's not a pitcher I want to back here, and the fact that they're minus 130, the Marlins are against the Diamondbacks here today, makes me say it's makes me say it's Marlins or nothing.
I am the biggest champion of Max Meyer. I was all last year. Now he's got these splits. So does Zach Gallen, being terrible on the road, but Max Meyer is he is bet on in every single home start. I left money on the table, not backing him at the Nationals last start when it was a clear bounce back opportunity for him. Mark Staszowski saying, why is Miami first five not more of a difference? This is perfect to me. Maybe not perfect. Maybe it'd be a bigger difference. Sorry, I take that back. But this is just such a great situation. I bet the Marlins as soon as it was available at like 115 yesterday at minus 115. I thought that I would beat the line bigger. Right now I'm looking at a minus 124 at Pinnacle. First five, it's minus 139. I got that at minus 126. So I thought that was a pretty big difference as soon as the first fives came out, that the minus 115 to minus 126. So I'm comfortable with that difference. And then my issue here is that I like those bets so much. The Marlins first five, the Marlins full game, I like them so much that I don't, even though I kind of like the under, I don't think I need to bet it. Well, I don't see the point of betting it if I like the Marlins much more. But this is a 7.5. There's been a 5-cent move towards the under, a very small move towards the under, low total here. And Gallen is a problem. 5.32 ERA, 1.52 whips, got 5.46 expected ERA. The Marlins aren't hitting righties. The Diamondbacks aren't hitting righties over the last 5 games at all, but they're also not hitting righties over the last 30 days. So Diamondbacks 230, 653 OPS, Marlins 228, 655 OPS. So if you expand the sample size, it doesn't change the fact that they're not hitting. Both bullpens, I think, are very trustworthy and good bullpens here. I know the Diamondbacks got lit up last 5 games, but 3.27 ERA, 1.30 whip over the last 30 days. So I like the unders. The Warbucks is on the over. I'm just not going to. I just like the Marlins bet so much. I don't want to do anything to mess up what I expect money to be coming in. The only thing I would add would be a triple up, and I'm not going to do that. Would be adding the Marlins first 3. I'm getting some better prices on the first 3s these days. On the first 3 sides, first 3 totals, the 365 still will, shank you. But here I'm in absolute business. Marlins full game minus 115. First 5 actually was minus 127. So I'm going to leave the first 3 under and full game under off. But I do think that they're going to cash. I could move on maybe one of them, which would probably be a first 3 under. But then again, you're focusing on Zach Gallen to deliver, which I expect him to do in a controlled environment against the Marlins team. It's not hitting righties. It's a pretty good spot. Like, I hear what Trevor's saying, that this is a good spot for the Marlins offense to get right against Gallen. I think that's true, but I also think that you could sort of say the same thing, that this is probably a good opportunity for Gallen to pitch okay. But I'm just comfortable with the double up Marlins. This is a great spot. Rod Wax says bet under the total in Arizona games versus an NL starting pitcher whose whip is 1.05 or better. So under record during 2026, 8-1. And flank stake play of the day is in as well. Robert Franklin says Meyer at the cribs, cash money. And Mark Safsky seeing a minus 130, minus 135 difference. That Pinnacle difference is big enough to make me comfortable here. But copying and pasting flank stake. But yeah, Marlins, man. Max Meyer at home. What an advantage we have against Zach Gallen. And I love it.
Okay. Well, let's move on here to the Boston Red Sox, versus the Tampa Bay Rays here. Red Sox team that I've been saying for quite a while is hot ass, but here we are yet again with Peyton Tolley versus Nick Martinez on the bump here. Peyton Tolley has been a ball of energy in my life that I need, and he's the only light in my life right now with this Red Sox team.
Hot ass is a good thing generally, too. You need to create a different type of ass,
What do you have in mind?
I don't know, like maybe lukewarm ass. That doesn't sound very good.
I don't know. Hot ass doesn't seem that great because you've got swamp ass at that point.
Well, you're thinking of men. See, I'm thinking of
That's
women.
true.
That's a huge
Women don't
problem.
get. Well, hold on. Women don't get swamp ass.
Women can wash that shit off in a quick minute, and that hot ass can mean that. Well, let's get back to business. Let's get back to business here. But again, I do think that if you only thought of women all the time, a lot of your imagery would change in a positive way.
Yeah, I guess I don't. Who would have thought? Nick Martinez has had a fantastic year so far, but his underlying metrics are definitely saying that he is a fraud. I don't know. He's trying to get hit. He's been fortunate so far this season to pitch as well as he has, and he gave up 6 earned runs against Detroit last time out, and that could have been the start of him regressing back to the mean. But I'm fascinated to see what happens here. I don't believe in the Red Sox. I don't think they can hit anyone. So I expect him to have a decent start here today. So it's rather unfortunate. Maybe an under, because I think this Red Sox team will be a very good under team this year, and I think the best under team in baseball. From the 17th of last month to today, Red Sox are 104 weighted runs created plus against righties. Average. And by the way, with the Aroldis Chapman probably getting traded news, I'll be interested to see how they use him, but he has not thrown in 4 days. Justin Slayton, who gave up the fucking tank in New York, it didn't throw yesterday. Everyone else threw. And by the way, Chapman's on one leg right now with a hamstring injury. He's still pitching though, so I'll be fascinated to see. I lean under in this game, Jimmy. Let me tell you guys the splits right now. 55% of the bets on the Red Sox, 63% of the money on the Rays, 58% of the bets on the under, and 64% of the money is on the over. So tough game for me. No action. What do you think?
I just think the Red Sox have become more and more and more appealing as the market is marinated and sat there. I think there's advantages here. Look, Nick Martinez has been spectacular all year, but he's that 4.52 expected ERA has been an elephant in the room every time we talk about how he's pitching. But we've also seen the market have a shrewd awareness of when he's going to shove. And Peyton Tolley, 2.28 ERA, 0.97 whips, got 2.31 expected ERA. You got I think that Trevor focusing on the full game is probably important thing to do. This Raves bullpen's been so bad, and then they're coming off of a bullpen day where they were great. Of course they are. They're always great on bullpen days. They always deliver on bullpen days. It's uncanny. So I think the best move is to back. You could double up on Boston. That wouldn't be a mistake either. I don't want to do it. I'm not that high on them, but they're minus 114 on the money line. On the first 5, they're minus 121. So touch on the state of the Red Sox bullpen once again, because Red Sox bullpen's been so good statistically, especially you compare them to the Rays bullpen. Now Rays bullpen having a good last 5 games and Red Sox bullpen not. So is that what you're saying is going to continue? So you were touching on Chapman being on one leg. Is the bullpen sort of a mess right now?
I don't have much faith in it really. So Chapman's on one leg. He didn't look great in New York, but got the job done because those guys still stink. Justin Slayton threw 25 pitches on Sunday. I expect him to be available today, but and he's been generally pretty good. It's just when he blows up, he shits down his leg like he did in New York. Greg Weissert, 17 pitches yesterday. If he's coming in a non-clean inning, all of those runs are scoring. All of them. It's the most funny thing I've ever seen in my life, Jimmy. If there's a guy on first and he comes in, that guy on first is scoring. If there's a guy on fucking second, third, and first, they're all scoring. It's just uncanny. Danny Coulomb is 22 pitches yesterday. Tyron Guerrero threw back-to-back pitches. Or back-to-back days. He's not going to go today. Alec Gamboa is a AAA arm. They just called back up. Ryan Watson is a human white flag. When they throw him in, the game's over. And Tommy Canley is still pitching in the year of our Lord 2026. So it's not a bullpen I trust, if I'm being honest.
Well, that's interesting because I mean the Rays bullpen. Only 2 guys didn't pitch yesterday. Only 2 guys have gone back to back though. So you're saying that if you were going to back the Red Sox in this game, it would be first 5 or no bet.
Probably, yeah. If I had to pick gun to head, it'd be first 5. I just feel better that way.
I mean, there is a price difference here. Penny Red Sox minus 114, first 5 they're minus 121. Rays full game are plus 105, first 5 they're plus 106. And I think that you can kind of conceptualize the whole. I see it. I see it, and I think that I would like to have some action here on the Red Sox. I just think there's advantages. Now, Chris Warren saying that the last start by Tolley was an outlier. And, yeah, I mean, he was incredible. Also, 3 straight starts at home. Now, the last time he was on the road was when he went up against Chris Sale and threw 8 innings, allowed 2 earned runs, and they beat the Braves 3-2. Is that a concern at all? 4 of his last 5 starts have come at home, or is it's fine? Nothing to worry about there.
I don't generally have too many worries, and I don't think that last start was an outlier either. I mean, he's gone 7 shutout innings, 6 innings, 1 earned run with 11 Ks this year, 8 innings, 2 earned runs. I mean, he's a very good pitcher, this Peyton Tolley. Somehow wasn't going to make the preseason, the rotation out of the spring training, but whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a lot of interest in them. Okay, I think the first 5 is. I'm certainly not doubling up. So it sounds like from a Boston Red Sox expert who knows this bullpen inside and out that I should heed his advice and take the first 5. So that's the plan. Red Sox first 5 for me. Let's roll on.
Next, maybe the game of the day: Dodgers, Pirates, the Beast, Eric Lauer versus Paul Skeens here. Now, what an interesting line it is here. We won't see many times that the Dodgers are not favorites in a game they're going into, but Paul Skeens, minus 109 opener, minus 108. My light blocking. It got up to minus 113 at one point, but is settled around minus 108 right now. For Paul Skeens here, we have market in this game. Here we are, 63% of the bets, 69% of the money on Paul Skeens, 92 and 55 on the over, 92% of the money, 55% of the bets on the over. So people thinking that this might be a sneaky over in this game, and I can understand it, but boy, oh boy, when I saw the Dodgers as an underdog, I immediately thought, man, do I kind of want to back Eric Lauer and company. Paul Skeens' last few starts, 4 2/3, 3 earned runs against Astros, 5 1/3, 3 runs, 1 earned against the Cubs. Toronto, 5 innings, 4 earned runs, and Philadelphia, 5 innings, 5 earned runs. So it's been a bad stretch for him. If I'm being honest, I think it's a little more luck in those starts. Or I should say unlucky. Look, his expected ERA in his last start was a 2.14. I just think that Paul Skeens will, hot take. I think Paul Skeens will figure it out and he'll pitch well here, especially with a lot of motivation with the Dodgers being on the other side. I know they're good, but Jimmy, you also mentioned many a times how if there's a good pitcher pitching against the Dodgers, it's a great time to back him here. Lauer's been pitching well since he got to LA, which is not the most unsurprising thing ever. 4 2/3, 2 earned runs at Arizona, and then at home against the Rockies, 6 innings, 1 earned run there. So I lean Eric Lauer and I lean the Dodgers here. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm the same way. Of course, of course we're going to look at the Dodgers as a dog and be immediately interested, especially the way the Pirates have not been hitting lefties. I know they've improved a little bit the last 5 games, but just very poor numbers against lefties. Dodgers are raking against righties once again. 63% of the tickets, 69% of cash on Pittsburgh. At this point, Newkirk says Skeens at this price is an auto bet. Rod Zweig says bet under the total in Dodgers games. There's an NL starting pitcher whose whip is 1.250 or better. that's an interesting way of looking at this, honestly, because I'm pretty hesitant to move on a side. I just think this is all just priced, right to me. The fact that this total's gone from 7.5 up to an 8.5. We thought that rain was going to cause an issue in this game. Why don't we just do one more check? Boots on the ground from our guy Justin McKelvey. Love when he goes to these skiing starts. How much fun would that be in that incredibly beautiful?
I was about to say that too. Is Justin going to this game?
He's going, yeah. Boots on the ground. Yeah, the rain's going to stop. It's going to be just magic. It's going to be just magic. God, I'm jealous. I mean, is there another place on earth? Anybody? Maybe Vegas for the hockey game, but this would be a tough comparison here. So the total goes from 7.5 to 8.5. It skyrockets up. So I'm not going to get in the way of it. Minus 1% runs, minus 10% homers, plus 16% doubles and triples, and minus 6% triples. And the fact that, look, I guess I just want to watch the game. I like Eric Lauer. That's a problem. I have a lot of problems in baseball because of my affinity for some of these older pitchers, and I'm sure it's cost me money. And I want him to succeed, and I want the Jays to rue the day they gave him away for squad ass nothing. And that last start was good at Arizona. What is look at these two starts he's had as a Dodger, but what is Arizona and Pittsburgh both doing? They're not hitting lefties. And he's a high character guy who's going to step up for his new team. I could understand why you guys are on Skeen's first five. But I can't. I don't know if I want to get there. I mean, I hear what Jose's saying, that Skeens is being unlucky. Like I can understand that, but he also doesn't look as dominant. And he could turn that around right here against the Dodgers, but I'm probably leaving money off. The more I talk about it, the more Skeen's first five becomes appealing. And but it just wasn't what I wanted to be involved in. Minus 109 for the Pirates, full game. First five minus 133. I'm going to hold off at this point, but I see that a bunch of you guys are on it. And Warbuck saying Dodgers has seen Skeens too many times. I mean, this is must-watch baseball, but I don't know if I need to move on. So I'm going to be off of this. I mean, if you were forced to make a bet on a side, first five or full game, you would take the Dodgers full game, right, Jose?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I was looking at the under, but for whatever reason, this total's gone up. So
skyrocketed up.
Yep. So shout out to Miguel Money. He always said if the total goes up a full run, just take the under because the stat nerds aren't typically wrong by a full run. So I understand that, but I lean under too. But I just stayed off. Yeah.
Sick from the fall. Moving on. Skeen's first five. Warbuck saying Dodgers 3-0 a dog. I mean, I think it's one of those games where you can really put together an argument for either side of the fence. So I'm off at this point, but I'm doing it reluctantly. I also think that if it moves further towards Skeen's first five, that's not going to make it more appealing. I also, as much as I think like putting the Dodgers at this number full game feels trapped, putting Skeens at this number first five seems both like too good to be true. Matty Ice, Taint play of the day is in. Taint is in. Taint running hot. Let me set this one up. That sets up our next game, Jose. Actually, we can roll right into it. So why don't you let Taint lead the way here? And if you don't mind, play the video clip and roll right into our next breakdown.
Yeah. Tigers minus 1.5 for our good friend Matty Ice and the Taint play of the day. Shout out to Taint and shout out to Matty Ice.
Days in as well. We'll talk about it after this breakdown. But Taint in business, Jose, take it away.
I already forgot about the shotgun play today. I look forward to hearing that again. But he's on minus 1.5. Detroit Tigers plus 165. Our guy Matty Ice here. And, back-to-back 4-run performances for Taj Bradley. I sit here and I say, has the league adjusted to what Taj Bradley has been doing? Now, he had 5 walks and 5 strikeouts last appearance. 6 strikeouts, 2 walks, and the one before that. He's been kind of walking 2 or 3 batters the whole time, and he's been doing okay. But if he's going to walk 5 dudes and strike out 5, it's not going to be a recipe for success for Taj. So I'm going to be fascinated to see what his walk numbers look like today, try to get a control feel for him. But, it seems like he's starting to slip a little bit. And as always, I feel like every time I say we talk about Taj Bradley, I say this, but when the Rays give up on you, I always have those red flags come up. And he's pitched well, but we'll see how long that lasts, I suppose. Minus 115 opener at BetOnline is now minus 126 for the Detroit Tigers, and Troy Melton on the other side here. Heritage at minus 129. It opened up at minus 120 here. So that's interesting. And by the way, I'm going to refresh just one time. It is okay. It's Troy Melton and no one else here. Just wanted to make sure that we didn't have a old follower here, because Melton's been pitching pretty well with 8 innings, 7 innings, and 5 2/3 innings pitched in his 3 starts. 2 runs, 1 run, and 1 run to follow. So the books are thinking that he is hot. He's hot to trot and ready to roll here, Melton. The line has moved, like I said, 10 cents. And the splits here, we have 69% of the bets and 61% of the money on Minnesota. Detroit or nothing for me here, Jimmy. What do you think?
Yeah, I moved on Detroit. First 5, I thought I would beat the line more than I have. I'm a big Melton believer. I don't think it's, all this talk about Taj Bradley. I think it's pretty simple. He had 4 straight starts where he went at least 6 innings. 6 1/3 one, 7 innings, another one. And then he went on the IL for right pectoral inflammation. He's not gotten out in the 6th inning since then. And so something's still wrong with him. That's how I see it. I don't think he's 100%. Troy Melton is bet on. We talked about this kid quite a bit into real detail last night. He looks like an absolute monster to me. He was, dealing with the right elbow strain. That's why he had the late start. He was always going to be part of this rotation. He looked very, very good in his rehab assignment. And then he's coming and just being lights out. The only kind of somewhat interesting angle here is that he hasn't pitched at home yet. So will that be a problem for him? Trevor's saying Tiger Up says that Taj run is over, getting exposed as Tigers offense come to life. Buxton probably playing, but nobody scares him outside of him. Roswell says bet against Detroit on the money line with the tired bullpen after 3 straight games throwing 4+ innings. Detroit record during the 2026 season 0-6. It was the Tigers bullpen that got me only on first 5. And it wasn't even, and the TJ saying Melton going to get exposed soon.
I was hoping there was going to be a difference between first 5 and full game. Pretty surprised there wasn't one.
Troy Melton has the expected ERA issues that we see Nick Martinez and others with, so, but again, I do think that, those starts at Baltimore, at the White Sox, and at the Rays are not easy assignments. And, the guy's got a 0.87 whip, and that's with the terrible K to walk ratio. So I can understand. So that is a bit of a problem. If your K to walk ratio is a problem, your whip is so low, it means that the balls are being hit to fielders, which we know is very kind of luck based. So I can understand that trepidation there that TJ would say here. But look, Taj Bradley's come off the IL and he doesn't look right. We saw this with Kyle Freeland. Now Kyle Freeland still doesn't look right. They say, now maybe you could just say, look, Kyle Freeland's trash, always been trash, and that's all that happened was he just had an outlier performance to start the year and all that, and that'd be valid. But look, I'm here. Tigers first 5. Again, though, I did not beat this line. I thought I would. I did not beat it minus 128, so that's a concern. And also, I think we need to keep a very close eye on Melton. I think he's an absolute bulldog gamer, but 9 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 22 thirds, yet you have a 0.87 whip. So obviously that expected ERA would be much higher than what it is. So, but I like it. Tigers first 5 for me, simple, easy. To me, simple, easy, because I was extremely interested in what Taj Bradley had done this year. And I loved it. And I watched that start when he was in Tampa so closely. We backed him a ton to start the year. We were backing him. We I think we saw it right off the hop that he was, throwing with increased velocity and looked very good to start the year. That velocity is back down. And we have boots on the ground as well. So we got our guy, Justin McKelvey, in PNC Park. And we have our guy, Matty Ice, at Comerica Park. If anybody is around in those stadiums, run into our guys and have a beer with them. But we're in business. I'm looking forward to watch this game, and Tigers first 5 for me.
Yeah, I'll be fascinated. I'm going to stay off, but I'll be watching to see how Taj Bradley does. And if he goes on the IL after this game and he struggles in this game, obviously, and he goes in the IL, I will be fascinated to see how all that
do
works.
have a question here that we should answer from our guy TJ, who put so much into what we do here, just questioning what the first three is saying. I'm a real big believer now that they put the first threes at just an average regular line to open, and then the sharps do all the move, and that's when we see the 30-40 cent moves and all that stuff. So here, first three is slightly juiced to the under at minus 125. I actually had first 3 under question mark when I first looked at this game. So it's so this is 8.5 minus 115 to the under. If you compare it to the Mariners Orioles, it's 8.5 minus 120 to the over. And that one's minus 125 to the over on the first 3. So I would say the Mariners Orioles and this Twins Tigers are just completely fair line, exactly where it should be. And we have to see now if there's movement, because that's exactly where it should be. Both of them. There's no. It's where it should be. So it's telling us that no one's moved it, basically, in my estimation. So Jose, let's roll on.
Yeah, have we had any? By the way, have we had any lines like the other day in the first 3 where it was weird and we should have bet the over?
No, I only had first 3 unders yesterday, but yeah, we did last week. We did on the Friday, right? I think didn't we? I forget which shows, but.
They all run together at some point. I understand that.
The Friday card was interesting for me because we went 15-1, and 9 of those, Jose, were plus money. And the only reason why it wasn't 10 was because I sobered up and bet the first 5 plus a half on the Red Sox. It was just the booze was not. Who needs a plus a half run? And it worked. And I mean, TJ said something to me recently, and I can't. But it was about a total, and I was like, "Well, are you going to pay for the half run? It was going to cost like 17 cents." He's like, "No, I'm either going to be right or wrong here," and that rang true to me. I've got some work to do to bring my vig down, But Jose, let's roll.
Yeah, let's roll on to Yankees Guardians here. By the way, shout out to Kelly McInnes, Julian Cesario in here, Justin McKelvey, all you guys. Shout out to you guys, Chris Warren. Thanks for watching, Mr. Rod Zawacki as well. We have fat ass McTubby Pants here on the bump for the New York Yankees versus Slade Ciccone here. By the way, I'd like to just warn Tarek Skubal that he's tilting more towards Tubby and more towards the pitcher for the Yankees here than he is athletic. So watch out for Mr. Tarek Skubal, who is getting fatter by the day.
The Jays have a package together for Tarek Skubal, supposedly.
Oh, well, I'd like to see it happen. And there's a lot of teams all circling around him. My favorite Tarek Skubal team in this hypothetical world, the Pittsburgh Pirates. Oh my God, it would be fun. Just give them Jared Jones.
Yeah, they have the equity for sure.
Give them. Don't give them both Jared Jones and Bubba Chandler. Just give one of them, and let's have fun for a half of a year. Paul Skeens and Tarek Skubal in the same rotation. Come on. Slade Ciccone back-to-back here for him against the Yankees. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 earned run against them last time out. So you guys know how I feel about that. I don't know how well he's going to bounce back or pitch well here against the Yankees again. And McFatass here pitched against the Gardens, 5 1/3, 6 hits, 4 earned runs on 3 home runs allowed. I talk shit about Tubby a lot, but I think that he will be able to come out here and pitch. I think he'll have some Rebenga on the mind for his one bad start. And Jimmy, again, I will say this in hushed tones that I know you enjoy. I think the Yankees are very good this year, and I think they can win the World Series because they have a lot of good pitches. But yeah, I lean Yankees here. I get the line has moved quite a bit towards the Guards here. Like I said earlier, minus 135 opener at BetOnline is now minus 116. But I lean Yankees here. I really do.
I thought the cap, and I want to start trusting these caps a little more, was really strong yesterday in the Yankees Guardians game. Gavin Williams, I like better than Will Warren. There's no doubt about that. But Gavin Williams had just faced the Yankees, and Will Warren didn't. And Will Warren was on an extra day rest because of a rain out, and I thought that was going to benefit him in this time of year. And so I stayed off of Gavin Williams' first 5. What I should have done was bet the first 5 over, or trusted it and bet Warren first 5. But it's hard for me to ever fade Gavin Williams. And then here, look, I'm such a supporter of Slade Ciccone. I've always supported him, believed in him. And the Guardians are a real smart group, and they gave up a lot to bring him over here from Arizona. Anytime that I have expected the same thing to happen that we've just seen, it doesn't work like that. And what just happened was Slade Ciccone shut down the New York Yankees in the Bronx, and now he's back home. This line's moving towards him. And what did we see from Cole? He had a tough start, 4 runs over 5 1/3, and 5-4 loss home to the Guardians. I'm not going to say that this line move is wrong, but I'm also not going to just say, look, Slade's my guy. He's going to do it again. So it's pretty easy for me just to be off of the spot here. Rod's wife says, Bell and Garrett Cole road starts on the run line versus an AL team with the team batting average of 255 or worse, has Cole's team record since 2024, 7-0. So I'm just very comfortably off this game. We've seen this move towards the Guardians, and that was my first instinct, of course, was Cleveland first 5 plus a half. And then I had full game and question marks because of my subconscious and what I've been watching. I'm off the spot. I'm not going to expect Slade to do it again. I want him to. I'm not going to expect what we just saw 5 days ago to happen again. So I'm off the spot here. So nothing for me. There was some concerns about rain in this one. So, last night we didn't think it was going to go. I looked this morning and I thought it was the same deal, that this was going to go. But let's just take a quick look. The light rain starts at 4. Then you have scattered thunderstorms at 7 and chance of showers at 10. So there could be a problem. And then, obviously that would benefit the Guardians, whose bullpen is stronger than the Yankees. But I'm off the spot. And we have Turnbuckle Tommy loving the Yankees first 5 minus half. Says 2 pitchers coming right back in 6 days. Cole will make adjustments. Warbucks on Yankees money line says 5-0 away on Taco Tuesday. And Rod's Wax says bet under the total New York Yankees road games versus an AL team with non-base percentage of .320 or worse. Says the unders record during the 2026 season 14-4. TJ's on the Yanks first 5 here. I really get that. I would just be curious to see what the price difference is first 5. A full game here with, with Slade. We have the full game minus 119 for the Yankees. First 5 minus 123. So no difference. I'm off the spot. We'll cheer for you guys. And TJ says you can't bet the Yankees full game. Look at that bullpen usage. So an exhausted bullpen there. I'm off the spot, Jose. Let's roll on.
All right, let's roll on here. Jimmy, over under 3.5 chicken wings consumed by Garrett Cole before this start.
Oh, man. I don't know. I'm used to hockey players. They don't eat chicken wings, man. You can't eat chicken wings. You can't even eat chicken wings during the summer when you're off, man. These guys not used to the CJ Sabathias of the world.
Yeah, well, he's just going to stuff his fat face until they get to the playoffs here. That's Garrett Cole.
CC.
Yes, you did. It's okay. We all know what you. Yeah,
CC Sabathias.
Yeah, right. We all know. Don't worry.
No, that's bad. How could you? Come on. I can look from one booze bag to another. I got to respect the bottle. But let's roll on.
A rare pitcher that was better when he was fat and terrible when he was skinny. Shout out to CC and his addiction to cereal. Phillies Blue Jays here. Next game on our board here. What a pitching matchup we have here today, Jimmy. Zach Wheeler versus Dylan Cease here. And I think by far the biggest development in the Phillies season, besides firing Rob Thompson, apparently, is Zach Wheeler being very good again, it seems. After thoracic outlet, I was surprised to see that, I'll tell you, and he's been a bulldog. He opened up at minus 113, 6:30 a.m., got to minus 115. It is now minus 105 each way with Dylan Cease making his return. Jimmy, this is his first start coming off the IL, correct?
Correct.
Yep. So as I click his name here, I want to see and
Hamstring.
double check. Yes, and we've talked about old Peter Loshak and how he says back these pitchers that come off the IL.
Which we just did with Logan Webb's bursitis.
Bursitis. Interesting.
It was not knee bursitis. He needed a mental reset. He was dealing with arm fatigue. He comes out and he shoves just like Cease is about to do.
Well, the only concern, Cease did throw a rehab start. I don't put too much stock into it because I'm sure he was just trying to get the feel back. 4 innings, 6 hits, 5 earned runs on 2 home runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk, which is kind of what I care about more in that. The 2 home runs I will equate to just trying to get his fastball locations and such, but 6 strikeouts, 1 walk against the mighty AAA Boston Red Sox, a.k.a. the Worcester Red Sox here, who, by the way, Jimmy, the Worcester Red Sox have over $100 million in payroll down there, so I would call it the most expensive AAA team in baseball. A long tradition by the Red Sox. That's what they do. Cease is a very interesting pitcher. I can't wait to watch this game. I mean, obviously, the first most square thing I think about is to bet the under in this game. We have 79% of the bets and 95% of the money on Dylan Cease here, but 52% of the bets and 63% of the money on the over in this game, shockingly enough. So what do you think here?
Well, first off, Jose, I bet a first 5 under on Wednesday or Thursday.
Wow. How could you?
Because I'd like to start bringing them back, maybe 1 a week or so. I cashed it really easily.
This is a drug addict speaking right now. This is an addict.
I look, I mean, what appeals to you more? Like, I'm on the first 3 under 2, and the line has moved 10 cents in my favor. Just 10 cents, but it has moved in my favor. And what appeals to you more, the first 3 under 2 at plus 102 or the first 5 under 4 at minus 120? I mean,
I never bet first 5, Jimmy's. I'm off. You say first 5, I say no thank you.
I think that now the most important element in this baseball game is whether this roof will be open or not. And they have Rogers Center closed here, and there's supposed to be light rain at night. I let me go back to the precipitation.
You guys have
here.
good weather up there now?
It's warm and yeah, it's beautiful.
Wow.
It's being so nice. But we're supposed to have, so let's see, the 50, that's early. We have rain early in the forecast. Then it's the precipitation stops. And then we go, okay, 30%, 35%. So yes, the roof will be closed. The roof will be closed. So I'm already on the first 3 under. I'm going to add the first 5 under. And the only concern is Cease. But there shouldn't be, supposedly, because all these pitchers that are shoving go off, on the IL with a non-arm related injury and come and deliver. And then we have this big move towards him, which could either tell you that Wheeler is vulnerable because the Jays are hitting righties much harder than the Phillies right now. Or it can tell you that Cease is going to shove. That's an 8-cent move towards Cease. You have TJ on the first 5 and full game under. And when we get to that full game under, it's not moved, but sitting there at a very low number at 7.5. So, yeah, Rod's Weiss says expected to be close. Yeah, the 35% precipitation they don't mess with for whatever reason. So I'm going to add the first 5 under 4. Rod's Weiss says bet over the total in Toronto games after 2 straight games where the bullpen gave up no earned runs, has the over record since 2025, 19-4. Josh Witt in the house. Great to see you, Josh. But yes, I'm adding the first 5 under 4, and if I bet 1 a week or something like that, I'm okay with it. I think what's appealing to me is those flat 4s. The first 5 flat fours are extremely appealing to me. So, look, Jose, I'm 1-0 on him right now. Tastes real good. Tastes real good. Tastes so good, Jose. You gotta try this. Woo. You're muted, but yeah, I think your mic's a little. Yeah, we got to fix that mic. But let me just
There we
reiterate.
go.
There we go. Yeah, you got to try some.
Yeah,
of this,
yeah.
Jose.
You have fun with all that shit. No, thank you.
You gotta try some of this, man. I'm gonna have I'm gonna have what 1,000 bets by All-Star break.
Yeah, and I hope none of them are first fives. I hope no first 5 unders enter your system anymore. But here we are.
Time to bring them back slowly. Let's roll, Jose. I'm gonna add the first 5 under already on the first 3 under. Let's roll.
All right, Cardinals Mets, our next game on the board here. We have our good friend Freddie Peralta here, who, by the way, is looking for that Dylan Cease money. You know who I'm not giving that money to? Freddie Peralta. Good God, he's been bad to start the season so far. But, well, I mean, I wouldn't say so bad. He's been bad for the standards that at least I had for him coming into the season. Against our good friend Dustin May, who look at the ERAs, and I'm about to say that Dustin May has had a shockingly good season. To my expectations going into the season. So fascinating here. Fangraph seemingly not wanting to work right now and is down. So I'll give you guys splits here and market moves. -130 is now -123 at Bet Online here. Was a -121, so it's climbing down a little bit, or it's got down a little bit, climbing back up, I should say. -130 at Heritage, -128 opener there. And as for splits here, 62% of the bets on the Cardinals, but 75% of the money is on the Metropolitans here. 55 and 89 on the over, as well here. I don't know, gun to head, don't love the over in this game, but I guess I would just have to say take the Mets or nothing. What do you think?
The Rangers are hitting really hard. I think that it's clear that Dustin May is pitching at a high level right now, and that start against the Brewers was phenomenal. And then the Rangers are hitting really hard. The Rangers are hot right now, and they kind of got to him for a little bit. And then with Peralta, we're waiting for him to start shoving, and that last start at Seattle maybe was an indication that he will. So Rod Zwaggy says bet over the total in New York Mets home games after 3 or more consecutive road games. Over his record since the 2025 season, 15-4. Initially, I had the Cardinals first 5 or the Cardinals first 5 plus a half. Both I was kind of interested in. Right now, Penny's got the Cardinals plus 110, first 5 plus 107. Look, they're saying that there's no real advantage first 5, and they're probably right. And so, and it's not very run suppressing. We've seen some crazy run suppressing weather at Citi Field. This isn't it. -8% runs, -1% homers, -18% doubles and triples, and -5% singles. So the first 5 for the Cardinals plus a half is probably too expensive at -132. So I'm just off of the spot. I think I could give you a reasonable argument why Dustin May will outpitch Freddie Peralta. I can give you a reasonable argument that Freddie Peralta is going to start stepping up. I don't know why he hasn't been lights out at home. He's had some good home starts, but he's had starts where he stepped up. I mean, he had to start in the thin air Colorado on May 6th, doesn't allow a run, comes back home against the Tigers, shuts them down for 2 and runs over 6 innings, strikes out 7, walks 1. You're like, okay, he's back. And then he doesn't look great against the Yankees. He walked 6 batters. It was strange. Then he has a sort of a bounce back start against the Marlins, strikes out 9, but he still allows 4 and runs, but goes 7 strong, allows 8 hits. And then he faced the Marlins in back-to-back starts. That's always difficult. Then he shoved against the Mariners. I'm off of the spot. 6th in the fall on team total over for the Mets. Dougie Wise on the Mets money line. Robert Franklin on the Mets money line. I'm off the spot. Let's roll on.
There we go. Unmute myself. We roll on here. By the way, Jimmy, I just saw a video of Josh Donaldson hitting tanks at a rec softball league game wearing his jersey, his Blue Jays jersey as well. Josh Donaldson putting representation on the 6th there. All right.
35 million his sports cards, his card collection's worth 35 million, he says.
Good for him. Good for him. Jeff Slaughter coming on his ass. Oh, that's not what I wanted to say. Jeff Slaughter right behind him when it comes to sports card collecting there. Oh God, that's a funny one. That's a fun. Even I had to stop what I was saying there. Grant Holmes versus Eric Fetty, who, by the way, I saw there's a primary. I think the primary was Eric Fetty. So there's a primary of Eric Fetty here for us here. That is too funny right there. Brett Eislert is starting the game here, and they have 93% of the bets and 86% of the money on the White Sox here to start. 58% of the bets on the over, 94% of the money on the over in this game too, Jimmy, which is fascinating on that aspect here. For market moves, I'm seeing 2 cents of movement down towards the White Sox, so truly not that much. But, maybe I'm oversimplifying it, but I don't want to see Eric Fetty against this Braves lineup this year. So I have stayed off this game, and I will try to choose my words much more carefully going forward.
Okay. We had your mic messing around there. Your mic trying to cut you off. So look. The fact that everybody believes these guys are vulnerable, it's because they've been very vulnerable at times. They've also been able to shut down their opponents at times. If you ask, who is more consistent between Grant Holmes and Eric Fetty, I mean, Holmes is more consistent, but Fetty coming off a really good-looking start. I don't know who to trust in this spot. I mean, we know that Holmes needed the mental and physical reset. He came back, he didn't pitch great, and then he started, he's had 2 really good starts since then. I mean, I don't. This total is 9. It's gone up from the 9, so it's already a very high total, and then it climbs. There's just nothing that really appeals to me in this game. It just feels like real gambling, real, guessing here as to who's going to pitch well. Fetty got me the last time I, tried to fade him. And then rate Fields plus 4% runs, plus 7% homers, minus 9% doubles, triples, plus 5% singles. It's easy. We can roll on here, but just my 2 cents off another casher yesterday with the New York Yankees. Just my 2 cents in the house. Rays Braves plus 227 is the play of the day. Let's roll on, Jose. This game doesn't appeal to me.
All right, we roll on here. And by the way, if we don't have plans already. Look, I need to be on the show where Flash gives out some of his World Cup action. Gotta be there because I'm already pre-looking at these as well, and I'm gonna say it now, Jim. Here's the World Cup action. I will be betting the United States to win their group. It's they're plus 125, so it's not like it's anything too ridiculous. But I will be betting them to win their group here. It's very rare that I will bet and back the United States here, but I will be betting that.
That'll make it fun.
Yeah, so fun. I can't wait. Royals Rangers. Eovaldi versus Kolek here. And shout out to Kolek, guy that I've circled and been interested in. He's been pitching well. 76% of the bets, 75% of the money on Kolek here and the Royals, which is, a little aggressive, if I just say that here. Kolek's last 2 appearances, 7 innings, 2 earned runs at Cincinnati. And against these very Texas Rangers, 5 innings, 6 hits, 6 runs, 4 of them earned here. Little Rebenga could be on the mind for our friend Kolek here versus Nathan Eovaldi here, who we all know I love here. Did not face these Royals last time out. St. Louis, 6 innings, 11 hits, 4 earned runs. 11 hits and only 4 earned runs is fascinating there. Shout out to him. 7 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs. 7 innings, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, and 7 shut are his last few appearances. Getting the depth, but not getting the lack of traffic that the Rangers want here. What an interesting line this is, like you see on the screen, because this is moved towards the Royals here. -8, 118 now. It used to be -121. But like I said, there is a shitload of bets and money on the Royals here. 76% and 75% of the money on the Royals here. I mean, I don't think it's moved enough for me to back the Royals. I lean Texas, but I like Stephen Kolek a lot as the pitcher. And I'd rather back him here just based off the X's and O's. What do you think?
Well, we have three. We're about to talk about 3 games that have insanely offensive weather. Kauffman Stadium is plus 17% runs. It's not in the ballpark, pardon the pun, but of Coors Field in Las Vegas ballpark. They're both plus 41% home runs. But the home runs at Kauffman Stadium are plus 44%. Plus 44% home runs is even doubles and triples, plus 1% singles. So all of these totals have climbed about a run and a half. Whether that's overvaluing weather or what is that exactly? You guys can make the call on that. But I like these pitchers very, very much. So these teams are not hitting righties. Rangers 227, 662, Royals 233, 665. The Royals bullpen is being very bad. The Rangers bullpen has not. Rangers bullpen's been pretty good. And then, I don't want to get in the way. The volatility is just skyrocketed due to the weather, and who's going to get touched up between these two, and who's going to handle it better. Again, I feel like it's almost a guessing game. I mean, you could say the Rangers sticks are hotter than the Royals, but you go over the last 30 days, they're both average. So I'm off the spot here. TJ says both pitchers keep the ball on the ground. I think the total is too high, but he's on Texas money line. And TJ says new team with Seager and Langford back. And yeah, something that Dabby's been talking about a lot as well, what the difference they've made in the lineup. I would love to challenge this total too. I like Eovaldi and Kolek very much. I'm not going to. Josh went on the first 5 under. And then we're going to have a similar breakdown here with the Cubs and the Rockies with Colin Ray and Sugano, because these guys are pitchers that I think can, slow down the damage, but the market's not saying that. So why don't you set us up for Cubs Rockies unless you have more to say about Royals Rangers?
Nope. We can roll right along here. Cubs Rockies. And the Cubs, they need the Rockies here because they have been fucking terrible. And they are the future that I looked at the Spurs futures that we had, Jimmy, and I was like, yeah, I love looking at these. Yeah. The Cubs are the exact opposite. I hate looking at my Cubs futures. It's disgusting. If I could already pay my local just to get them taken off, I would. But whatever. It's fine here. We've got Ray versus Sugano, and 89% of the bets and 60% of the money are on the Rockies here, which you do not see often here. And by the way, we have 79% of the bets on the under, but 95% of the money is on the over in this game. So that's fascinating. This line has gone up 10 cents. Are the Rockies going to be the Huckleberry for the Cubs? Are the Cubs just going to finally open hand slap a team around here, get the offense going, especially in the thin air? I know Alex Bregman needs it bad. 11 is what this total opened up at, and it's now a 12.5 here. I mean, what do we think, Jimmy?
Well, Colin Ray looked like he was, not going to be part of this rotation. Then he had 3 really nice starts for them and helped them out quite a bit. Sugano has got the 3.98 ERA, 1.26 WHIP, but he's got the 7.52 expected ERA that's just been hanging over all of his starts. And we have a few pitchers like that, but none is egregious. The difference is so extreme, 3.98 to 7.52. But he's able to get soft contact. There was a nice start last out at the Angels. Both of the starts he had in Los Angeles were pretty good. I mean, even holding the Dodgers offense down to 3 runs over 4 2/3 isn't bad. Neither team's hitting righties right now, but we've both seen them hit righties at times. And this is extremely offensive weather, as we discussed a second ago. Plus 41% runs, plus 18% homers, plus 43% doubles and triples, and plus 20% singles. I mean, these games are just enormous volatility. I remember when the Coors Field fade came up, betting the underdog at Coors Field on the alternate run line. So betting the underdog minus 1.5. It was made for situations like this, where it's just extremely volatile. Which one of these pitchers is going to get touched up here? There's our guy Chang Kim in the house. Best bet for MLB. And he wants to talk Carolina. We're almost there. I will copy and paste that, Chang, my man. Rod Weiss says bet against Chicago Cubs in road games on the money line after a 3-game span where the bullpen threw 13 total innings or more. Cubs record since 2025, season 4 and 16. Von Polo is on the Rockies on the run line. For me, I'm just on, one of the best runs I've ever been on in baseball in my life. And so these spots that I deem coin flippy, I'm just going to stay off of right now. Those spots that I want to hammer and attack, just hammer and attack and stay focused. While I told you guys that this was going to be our best run of the year up until July 1st. We're going to be running until we get to a point where the All-Star game starts messing things up. So I'm off, Jose. This game is just insane. Volatile, insane. It's gambling. I'm trying not to sit around and flip coins. Now, you can have conviction on the spot, but this one just seems. Which one of these veteran gas cans is going to get touched? Are they going to get touched immediately? It's gone up a run and a half. So, and Rod's Wag says all the EV is on the Rockies. Justin McKelvey, Cubs run line for him. Robert Franklin on Rockies money line. Von Polo Rockies -1/2. Let's roll, Jose. I don't. Oh, Dougie Wise on the Rockies. I'm off.
There we go, and we're rocking here. By the way, Jimmy, as you're talking, I'm quietly putting in some World Cup action. Would you like that now or later?
Let's finish baseball and then we'll hit your World Cup. Let's finish baseball.
All righty. Astros Angels next on our board here. We have our friend Kai Wei Tang versus my good buddy Walber Urena here. And Jimmy, you know what I'm going to say. Walber Urena, apparently one of the best change-ups in baseball here. 68% of the bets on the Astros, but 80% of the money on the Angels here. 58 and 78 on the over as well here. The line is shockingly moved towards Houston here quite a bit. -110 opener is now -121 at Bet Online here. Heritage -125 now open at -122 there, and bookmaker showing actually a -117 after a -122. I'd be interested to see what first 5 lines are in this game because I definitely like my guy Walber Urena here. -120, 5 cents movement up towards the Astros. I mean, I guess that's an indication of full game here, but what do you think here?
Well, I wanted the unders. And so here you go, Jose. You asked, like, what are the spots where I didn't know what the initial move was to the under, and then there was a 10-cent buyback to the over once it went from 9 to 8.5, and I was staring at it, and then there was nothing. Now there's been a little bit more buyback to the over, but here you talk about what are the outliers. When we look at the lines, and TJ asking about them as well. So here we have the 8.5, and it is -115 to the over. And in that Gilbert Rogers start, we have that 8.5 -120 to the over. That's 5 cents more full game. Again, when we go to that Mariners Orioles first 3, it's -125 to the over and -115 to the under. And I said that's fair. That's what it should be, right? -120 to the over. It should be slightly juiced to the over. So then we get to this one that Kai Wei Tang and Walber Urena, 2 pitchers I really like. The 2 pitchers, though, that are going to be dealing with arm fatigue at some point. We expect Urena to be shut down. Tang's not being a starter. I mean, they're trying to stretch him out. But so this is 5 cents. So that the one we just talked about is -120 to the over. This is just -115 to the over here. And then we go to the first 3 innings, and it's -135 to the over. It's 10 cents more expensive to the over. First 3. Why? So in these situations, we've been cashing them, and it was Jose doing it. I was just like, well, it's going against the way I capped it. But we're studying these first 3 market when the market is telling something we should listen, and Jose was listening, and I was still on the fence. And then I stopped. I was like, fuck it. I'm not going to sit here watch Jose make this money and me sit in the fucking background doing squat as zilch. And so I started betting it, and it's cashing every time. So the bet here is the first 5 over. It has to be bet. And the first 3s have all been cashing. The reason why we moved the first 3 is I think that there's more vig involved. Is just because we think that it gives the pitcher an opportunity, because generally speaking, you only have to see, if you're excellent, you only see a couple batters a second time. In the first 5, the reason why we stopped betting the unders first 5 is because if you're not excellent, you're going to see some of these guys a third time and they're going to hit you. We know that your pitching statistics are going to get worse and worse. Generally speaking, the more times you see the lineup. So this must be a first 5 over. And I've got to trust the fact that I know these lines, and when something doesn't make sense, we must attack it. So every single time in this situation here with this market, your fees hit, right? Jose?
Yeah, I just bet it. I just bet it. Yeah, -110 for the year fee.
Every single time the year fees hit, every single time the over 2.5 is hit, and every single time the first 5 is hit.
It's very funny. It makes me laugh every time.
And I just have to say, okay, this goes against my cap, and also it's also when these have hit, the year fee cashes, the first 3 cashes easily, and then the first 5 is a bit of a sweat for whatever reason. But I still think that's the best opportunity to, because you get to see these lineups second time. So it's 4.5 -120. So I'm gonna have to bet the first 5 over. And again, Kaiwei Tang is being really good. 3.06 ERA, 1.17 WHIP, 3.78 expected ERA. He did get hit in his last 2 starts after looking dynamite. Well, he's not been pitching these kind of innings for a long time, and now he's going every 5 days, and it's bothering him. When is Walbert Urena going to start getting touched up? His last start was still, 3 runs over 6 innings, was still really good. Now he's got consecutive home starts, so you'd expect him to shove. So with all that said, I'm going to do it again. I expect to message Jose and say, you've cashed the year fee, because I've done it every single time we've been in this situation, every single time when that first 3 makes no sense. So again, I've hit it enough. Let's roll. First and now, and I have to be comfortable doing this. I have first 3 under and full game under, and I'm flipping. And I've got to be able to do this. Not, I've spent last 10 years saying, well, it doesn't. And then I had TJ tracking it 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, 3 years ago, when I said, well, the market's got me off, but I should flip. If I had a flip, I would have been hitting at 67% on those bets. So I've just got to trust it. So first 5 over. Let's roll, Jose.
Let's roll 2 Reds Padres here. Next game on our board. Giolito versus Chase Burns here. And shout out to Giolito, man. I'll say one of the nicer guys in baseball, but got shit on because all of his underlying statistics this year, or I guess last year, were not good. Barely got a job this year. It comes into this Padres team and has not been great, to say the least here. But, I think it's a very difficult position he puts himself in here. First 2 starts solid. Next 2 not good. 4 innings, 3 runs, 2 of them earned and a home run, 5 Ks, 1 walk at the Phillies, 2 2/3, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 home runs at the Nationals, and a good start at home against the A's. Against the Chase Burns-led Reds, who I like as well. I mean, Chase Burns, I think, is a good pitcher and is really stepped up in the absence of Hunter Green this year. -110 opener for them is now -117 at BOL. And at our friends at Heritage, it's even at -121, opened up at -109, -111. Padres there, and now is all the way to -121 Reds there. So very interesting. I think right now, as of now, it's
Christ. Did you see the price for this first 5?
I did not know. Is it
Oh my God!
-140 Reds?
-166.
Jesus.
At Pinnacle. I got -126.
Jesus.
Beat that move by 40 cents. Look at the difference. -119 full game. -166. Good God.
Scared the fuck out of me there.
Well, look, I mean, that means I'm getting paid. It means I'm getting fucking paid. I got the first 3 at -125 full game at minus 126. Good God. I mean, that's the biggest we've seen all year.
Probably, yeah. Well, that's crazy.
That is
Yeah,
insane. Let me just look at the first three before then let you finish off the job because
No, that's it. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Oh my God! Look what it is
it.
at 365 minus 180, and the first three is only minus 135. That's not good. Not bad to move to, but wow, that is insane. Sorry, Jose, keep going.
No, yeah, that's it. The huge line movement in that direction. It's fascinating. Like I don't have the balls to take Padres full game. It's how exorbitant that difference is because it seems like you're obviously going to be down heading into the fifth inning if you're betting the Padres. So if you want the Padres, just wait and bet them live. And if you want the Reds, you're fucked because you didn't take them first five. So no action for me here. And Jimmy obviously elated at this line movement.
Spectacular. I did, I made two bets on first five team total unders yesterday and cashed with Logan Webb. I lost with Christopher Sanchez in the bottom of the fifth. Really pissed me off. Here, I'd be on the Padres first five team total under as well because I wanted unders in this game, but there was such an advantage, I thought, with the Reds over the Padres here. And again, I'm just talking first three and first five. Yeah, Mark, feels real good, man. Full game is different. I mean, full game, you have this Padres bullpen that's just head and shoulders better than the Reds bullpen. It's ridiculous. So that's a problem here. And then there's our guy Sharpie in the house. Says wanted back Skeens strikeouts, but need weather to approve some more of the game time call for me. At this point, Sharpie, because we did the weather last night pretty deep, and it's improved a lot. But you're right; it's crucial to know what to have a sense of what exactly is going to happen with the weather. But it's improved a lot. Here, I think that the chance to take the first five team total under for the Padres probably come and gone. That's minus 116 to the under 1.5. I mean, I don't know if I need to triple up. But I'll think about it. First under 1.5. I mean, it didn't burn me yesterday, but it could have. But the first five full game, first three, first five, getting that first five minus 126, beating the move by 40 cents, that's irregular. I love it. And Rod Zweig says, bet under the total in San Diego home games versus NL starting pitchers. WHIP is 1.150 or better on this record since 2025 season 16-4. If I had a free bet or if I didn't already have Reds first three and first five, I'd be interested in the under because you just need Giolito to somehow deliver. And Giolito's been okay. These last two starts were on the road. Last time he was at home, he went 5 innings and didn't allow a run. We're seeing similar action from Walker Buehler. They're both pitching pretty well, especially at home. Although we saw Walker Buehler deliver in those back-to-back starts versus the Phillies. I don't know if I need to bother with that team total under 1.5 minus 116. But look, back to very quickly Chase Burns. He was sick, right? So he was going to miss his start in the rotation, but they only pushed him back 2 days. He allows that 2-run home run right off the top of the first inning. Out of his rhythm, sick, coming back, and then he shuts them down last start. Just shows his character. It was the Royals. Then he goes 6 strong after allowing that first, inning 2-run shot. Strikes out 9, walks 1. He's an absolute monster. Finalist for the Cy Young if he keeps this up. So I may add that first 5 team total under. I'm going to sit with it for longer. But Jose, we need to speed it up. Let's roll.
Nationals Gigantes here. I'll make this one quick. Andrew Alvarez versus Adrian Hauser. It's a bump fight. I know Jimmy might be interested, but I am not. 60% of the bets on the lefty in Nationals uniform, Andrew Alvarez, and 55% of the money on Adrian Hauser here. Line movement here. Minus 115 openers come down a little bit, and the Nationals are getting some love here. Minus 107 now at Bet Online from minus 115.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think there's a lot of volatility with Hauser versus Alvarez. I expect Alvarez to pitch fine here. These starts that he's had being at home, so this is his first road start. But, he started 5 games last year. I'm sure he's fine with it. Thomas Maggio's 2 units on the Giants here. And so, This could go either way. The Giants are hitting. They're hitting lefties. They're hitting righties much harder than hitting lefties. No one's hitting righties as hard as the Giants. Lefties 258, 770. Nats are hitting everything and hitting righties as well. And then TJ says Hauser versus lefties 1.077 OPS and 462 batting average against. And we know that these lefties in the Nats lineup are not to be trifled with. And Hauser's got the 5.41 expected ERA. This game has a ton of volatility. Maybe with the better weather in San Francisco than usual, that the over is the play. It probably is the play. They're both vulnerable. Both offenses are hitting right now. Both bullpens are pitching poorly. And TJ saying that the Nats first 5 is his favorite bet on the card. Huh. I think that I should have probably already moved on this first 5 over. We see such run-suppressing weather in San Francisco. We're not seeing that right now. And we have Oracle minus 4% runs. Usually it's much more than that. Now, minus 22% home runs always is that. Plus 8% doubles, triples, plus 6% singles. How do I not? Huh. Yeah, I don't want to double up, but it seems like it should be. A double up should be in the cards here. I mean, this is already a higher total for Oracle Park. I think overs should be bet. And I can maybe I should spend more time on TJ's Nats first 5. Okay, I'm going to work on this game a little more. I think there's money to be made here. I don't see these pitchers shutting down the opponents. So let's roll on. Let's roll on to Brewers and Robert Frank leaning to the over 8.5. I mean, it's a legit move from 8 to 8.5. You can question why the line opened up at 8, but I think it probably should at this, in this ballpark. Alvarez 3.54 ERA, 1.23 WHIP. Now he's got the 4.77 expected ERA. But let's roll on, Jose. Set us up for Brewers A's, and this is our final spot on the card for MLB.
Yeah, Brewers A's, and we'll start with this. These games are all being played in Las Vegas. All the A's people were all very anticipating of that when I was up there. By the way, Jeffrey Springs, in all of our years capping him, Jimmy, I don't know why. I just always imagine him as a miserable asshole. Just seemed like a prick. Nice guy. Surprisingly nice guy. Couldn't believe it. I don't know why. I thought he was just an asshole, but nice guy.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about that experience. We got to be tight for time, but tell everybody about a little bit what happened, what you did on Friday.
Yes, I was in the Astros. I was at the Astros A's game for 2 days, just filming the A's broadcasters doing kind of their thing. We were doing interviews on the field of some players. It was pretty cool. JT Ginn, nice guy as well, who's pitching today here, and a guy that I like as well here. And Taylor Trammell, also great human being, very nice guy. Not as good at baseball, but great human being, very nice guy. So very cool, very fun. Shout out to the Astros as well. I did not talk to Omar Lopez and Jose Altuve because that's too much for me, Jimmy. That'd be entirely too much for me to try to handle. I had my Venezuela hat on. I didn't want to put myself in that compromising position. But speaking of compromising positions, the A's, they're in Las Vegas for this week. Big week for the A's. But did you see that total yesterday? Good God. 14-13, I think the final score was in 12 innings. God, it was 15-14, something like that. It was a huge number. And Jimmy, as this is a very NBA playoffs kind of thing, when everyone sees that high total and all those runs, it automatically makes you want to bet the under today. Because everyone, I'm sure, saw those runs and was like, oh, fuck, we got to bet the over today. Look at all those runs. Look at them all go. And now I'm like, 13 runs, a lot of runs. But they almost scored fucking 30 combined yesterday. So this is a minus 125 opener for the gas man, Robert Gasser. It's all the way down to minus 105 each way. I'm guessing because, this thing called volatility, the high total. 73% of the bets, 72% of the money on Milwaukee, 64-59 on the over in this game. This total, by the way, opened up at 11.5. It is now 13 here. I'm leaning A's. I want to back the A's here, but what do you think?
Billy asking if anybody will be there for this because we got game 4 in Vegas.
Let's go, Billy.
Here's another first 5 I smashed and grabbed. I got the A's first 5 minus 108. I see the Pinnacle now minus 128. not quite as big of a beat down, but Las Vegas ballpark playing ridiculously offensive here. I'm on JT Ginn to handle it.
Oh my gosh. Did you see the first 5 total?
No, but I see the full game's now at 13. What's the first 5 at?
TJ just put in the chat. First 5 under 7.5 minus 125. He's betting it strictly on principle. 7.5 for a first 5 is hilarious.
Nice. Domo's going to be outside the area for the watch party in Vegas. Dope.
I
man.
love
Have
that.
fun. That'll be fun,
that.
man. Look, this is just simple for me. I think Robert. We're not entirely sure who Robert Gasser is. We saw him for now. This is the third year we saw him. We saw him in 2024, and he looked quite good. In 2025, we saw him, and then now 2026. But he's not become a major player in this rotation, even though he's got good numbers in AAA Nashville. He gets strikeouts. Maybe it's just they have so much depth at starting pitching here. But clearly, Harris now pitched him if they're talking about which young lefties. And we think of Gasser as being a kid. He's 27 years old now. So he's looked great in his first, starts, but we'll see how he handles this. But JT Ginn, it's the question. I think that they both should be able to handle a AAA ballpark, right? This is what, the question is, who can handle the AAA ballpark? Well, obviously that all the A's do is play in AAA ballparks. Gasser's been in AAA more than he's been in the show, so they both should be able to handle it well. And I like it. Domo says you want to find me and you're in Vegas. Follow the loud smoke. Says you'll find me. Respect, Domo, man. Have fun. So for me, it's simple. A's first 5. I got minus 108. Pinnacle now is minus 128. So I feel like I'm in business. I think Ginn will Look, Ginn just keeps delivering. I was the one that questioned Ginn more than anybody else. I questioned him. Why is he not part of the starting rotation out of camp last 2 years? But he has proved that he is the real deal. 2.74 ERA, 1.08 WHIP, 3.76 expected ERA. Maybe he gets lit. Maybe they both get lit up here as it continues to climb. So Vegas is plus 41% runs, plus 61% homers, plus 20% doubles, triples, plus 11% singles. Jose, review your action. I will do the same. We got to move quickly here. We're running a little late.
Yeah, you know what, Jimmy? I'd like for you to go first on the MLB action here because I have some World Cup bets and I haven't gotten any baseball action. And besides that, Yurfie we'll talk about. But I'm trying to follow the leader here as you are.
Yeah. Carlos Marin says Ginn is allowed 0 home runs in this ballpark.
I guess this is the AAA park, right?
Yeah, it's in Summerlin.
Yeah.
So Marlins full game minus 115. Marlins first 5 minus 127. Tigers first 5 minus 128. So there's the first 5 I didn't absolutely demolish line wise. Reds first 3 minus 125. Reds first 5 minus 126. Can't believe that's 40 plus cent move we beat. Athletics first 5 minus 108. Philadelphia Toronto first 3 under 2 at plus 102. And I told you guys that I liked the card so much that I thought that the additions might be a little less than usual. And so I have question marks around those unders in Baltimore. First 5, first 3 under. I don't know if I'm going to get there. I'm not going to move on those unders in Miami because I'm so confident in the Marlins action. So I messed with it. Red Sox first 5, I expect to add. And then, again, I think I'd leave the Dodgers Pirates start off and just be an interested spectator. The first 3 under in the Tigers Twins game, I don't know really. I'm kind of fading Taj Bradley, and then we've heard the expectation of regression. TJ expecting it from Troy Melton, so why would I add that? I don't think it makes any sense. Then I'm not. My gut instinct on Cleveland first 5 plus a half or full game is gone. I'm going to let that go.
I hate to interrupt you, but did you see that the Marlins are now minus 150 now against the Diamondbacks full game?
Yeah, that's great.
That's crazy.
Minus 115. First 3 under and first 5 under. So I'm already on the first 3 under in Phillies, Toronto. I think I'm going to add the first 5 under. And then that's the Cardinals game. I'm going to stay off of all that here. Braves, White Sox. Then there was a stretch of games I wasn't involved in. Braves, White Sox, Rangers, Royals, Cubs, Rockies. And look, I'm not generally an overbetter, so I don't gravitate towards those spots despite the weather and knowing that you're going to get an advantage. The first 5 over in Astros, Angels, we discussed the market creating that situation. I've destroyed these line moves in Cincinnati. Do I really need to add San Diego first 5 team total under 1.5? I mean, I don't know if I need to, but it certainly does correlate with everything that I'm moving on. And then the overs in Oracle Park. And as Josh was saying, yes, it's a pitcher's ballpark, Oracle Park. We know that the wind blows out to the deepest part of the field and it swirls. But TJ saying the Nats first 5 is his favorite bet on the board. I've got to take more time with Alvarez here and fading Hauser, trusting the Nats. And then I think overs are going to be involved. So I would like to bet, but how much do I want to invest? That's the question. A's first 5 is when I close up my card. And Mark Sasowski says 365 is Miami minus 150 full game and minus 145 first 5. We just destroyed those market moves, man. And the if you join us on the nightly bag, you'll destroy these market moves with us. So, Jose, your action, and then you can touch on World Cup and your plan of attack.
Yeah, here's some bets that I've put in here. I bet the first 5 full game unders. I got 7 minus 105 first 5, 13 full game under minus 115 there. I bet the Yurfie in the Angels Astros game. He's minus 110 for me there. And that's it for baseball bets as of right now. Now, quickly, World Cup bets. I'll probably add more to this, and I will hopefully be able to tell you guys all these bets. I'll be on a few times this week, but I'm on the U.S. to win their Group D plus 125. I am on Panama. Team exact points is Jimmy 0, none. They get nothing plus 225. I am also on Iraq. Team exact points 0. They get nothing. They get nothing and they like it. Minus 110. Those are my bets so far.
Wow. And they like it.
Nothing. Both those teams are in groups of just demolitions for them. So nothing. So it'll be fun bets to watch there too.
Troy Torrance in the house is going to be absolutely locked in for the next 6 hours. We'll be watching the show. Of course, he'll be hosting the closing line, 5 p.m. Eastern. 462 says got the 3 bets from last night. Moves are in our favor, heavily in our favor as well. It's you're getting a lot of love for your action there in the World Cup. Billy Friedrich says if you'd like the Canes to win the Cup, and he says he doesn't, you should split your unit, bet a half unit on the Canes game in 6, another half in Canes in 7. Says you make more money on either of those than the series bet. Interesting way of handling it. We're in discussions, VP. So I'll know here in very, very soon. We're working.
And I didn't talk to Flash before my bets, KV. So don't Von Polo. Don't worry about that either. So those are all straight me.
We need to move very quickly here. Do you want to set up the Stanley Cup final?
Yes, let's do so here. A fantastic series. Fantastic. As I drink from my cup, my boot.
It's a good looking boot.
It is. I'm going to abuse this thing, Jimmy. I'm going to drink from it every fucking day. Great games we've had here. I bet Carolina to win the series in their last series when they went down. I did not bet it in this one. And obviously when it was 1-1, I was kind of kicking myself. And now that we're where we are now, I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was a smart decision. Fantastic game. Mitch Marner scoring hat tricks in like 2.5 seconds. The Hurricanes scoring 3 goals in even quicker times than that. It's been fascinating to watch. Minus 175, by the way, for the Knights to win the series as of right now. Plus 155 for Los Hurricanes to win this one. And as for the game, obviously very tight. The Hurricanes favored at minus 115. We have a lot of overtimes in this, so prepare to stay up late if you're going to bet on this game. Market in this game, since the line is so tight, we have 56% of the bets and 86% of the money on your Carolina Hurricanes here, and 80 and 90% of the bets and money on the over in this game.
Look, this is just up in the air. I mean, you can see when these two teams play each other, it's just who's going to get the bounces. It comes down to that. They're both so skilled. They have veteran talent. They handle being down well. They have strong coaching, even though I despise Tortorella. I don't know if I really have an advantage betting anything here. It's so wide open. Now, we know that bank job by Theodore is going to help immensely. Teams with a 2-1 series lead have gone on to win the Cup 80.7% of the time. So you caught the falling knife. Carolina actually lost in overtime. And of course, it was a bad break. These teams have so much depth. The William Carrier injury does hurt Carolina. I expect Bussy to be in net, and I would keep it really close to the chest too if I was Brendan Moore, because they have different catching gloves. Bussy catches with the right, and Anderson catches with the left, and that's the difference. You could tell it kind of messed Marner up on the penalty shot. We don't know if Bussy's starting. We expect him to be starting. Don't you, Billy, expect Bussy to be the starter here? When it comes down to it, I like the Carolina Hurricanes the tiniest bit more than Vegas, but is there a risk reward to fade Vegas at home? Even though they weren't good at home in the regular season, but I think you just got to put a line through who they were in the regular season, because they're just a different hockey team right now, full of veteran talent, a team that's just winning nonstop on their torts. And I don't, in the last game, I had the first period under and the full game under, and I was quite confident in them. And of course, I lost the full game under. This is just so coin flippy. It's great hockey. It's great hockey, and McNabb coming back out of coming back from the stitches. There's so many inspiring stories from either side here, and I don't have a bet. I don't know if I need one.
I've never seen someone get smoked in the face more with that puck. I cannot believe that guy just ate that and you were still rolling. Shout to him.
I think that probably the best way to play this is just to bet the team that goes down immediately. I would be
just bet overtime every game, I guess, right?
I expect Bussy. Billy says he expects Fred. He says Brendan Moore extremely loyal to him. Yeah, but you got to do something to spark the boys. The Bussy was not really scored upon. That puck banked off the backboard, banked off his back foot. So he hasn't really allowed a goal. I would have to go Bussy. Low key on Hurricanes money line. I kind of want to bet the Hurricanes money line, but is there a risk reward here? Shouldn't there be a plus sign beside the Hurricanes if you're going to bet them? It doesn't make sense to me. Vegas could be up 3-0 here easily. Now you could flip the script a little bit and say, Carolina could easily make this, a 2-1 series, but I don't know, man. If we're not getting play, we're just destroying baseball right now. There's so much. I don't know. So I'm off of the spot here. Nikolai is on the Knights team total over 2.5 -160. Shout out to Dabby Cab in the house. And so, look, Billy Fraser says if Bussy is in that, this is Vegas for sure. So I'm off. I'm off of this spot right now. Maybe I'm disillusioned because I'm not. We were on a 7-game winning streak. I was on a 7-game winning streak coming in the Stanley Cup Finals, and I've not succeeded in the Stanley Cup Finals. I just don't see the risk reward here. So let's roll on. Nothing for me at this point. I'm not, but I will look live. We got to move very, very quickly through the WNBA, Jose. So let me just run quickly, very, very, very quickly through it, because we got the daily sesh popping off right after this, and we have our guy Swig on the 1s and 2s has got to run over there. It was my fault for not. I should be sitting here at 25-11, and I'm 24-12. Just because I was just too safe with my plan of attack, backing Connecticut first quarter instead of full game when it was the first road game for so long for the Liberty. And then shout out to Justin McKelvey for trusting the Mystics off the 30-point loss when I had thought, and again, we keep going. Anytime you make up an excuse not to back a team that's coming off a 30-point loss, you're just leaving money on the table. I thought the fact that the other team, because I just lost in the Mercury with the Mercury Storm in a similar situation, because the Storm were coming off a 23-point loss, Mercury coming off a 32-point loss, and I thought they sort of canceled each other out, or at least negated the advantage, which cost me here. But in these spots, let's just quickly roll through here. Atlanta Dream, Chicago Sky. It's now a 9. Why did it open up at 6.5? It opened up at such a low number. So now it's moved heavily towards Atlanta because this should have opened up at 8.5. Why did it open up at 6.5? If you were trying to manipulate the market, saying that, Atlanta, after the smash and grab that they're coming off, is going to be overly confident, and Chicago, coming off of just a horrific performance in Toronto, so I actually had some interest in the Chicago Sky first quarter. This guy shouldn't be bet on after Rickey Jackson's gone down. They're just terrible. But the 6.5, I understand this is an inefficient market, but that 6.5 was insane. And maybe it's just a gift. But I just didn't feel comfortable with it. What I felt very comfortable with was the next spot on the board. Dallas Wings being overvalued because they're playing so well, and Minnesota Lynx wanting to teach them a couple things about backcourt play, teach Beckers and Fudd here. The 3.5 I thought was perfect because the Wings are playing so well. So of course, fees out for the Lynx. Now, you guys know I did move on the Lynx to win the chip at plus 650, but when this 3.5 came out, I bet it immediately. I did see it get up to 5.5 at one point, which I really liked. Now it's come back towards. There was a big 1.5 move an hour into the show towards Dallas. So this was 5.5 when the show started. Moved down to 4. Now it's back at 4.5. I think if you can get a 4 or 3.5, it's very nice. Justin grabbed the Wings at plus 5.5. And Troy Torrance says never seen his dad so excited about basketball. Sky plus 8.5. Billy Friedrich, yes. Birthday picks have been cashing. Man, I was very glad to see that rolled with us. So I am. And UNLV says going to Reno today, need a banger. We also have to hook up Chang Kim. I think the Minnesota Lynx should be bet, but at 3.5 or 4, obviously we are being told that the Reds first 5. You know what I guess you could do? I guess if you're looking for a banger, I almost did this yesterday for Medicate Monday. One of the bets would have pushed, the other would have cashed, so it would have worked. Instead, I gave the Reds a plus 105, going for 8 straight winning show, and it pushed. But I guess what I would do is you could move Marlins first 5 money line, Marlins first 5 money line, and parlay it with the Reds first 5 money line. So that'll be it for you, Chang. That would be what I would do. I've got enough invested here. I don't need to add that, and I beat the line moves. Now it's because the line moves have gone so heavy in our favor. So I guess it'd be a Marlins first 5, Reds first 5 money line parlay would be the best bet I see here. The last spot on the board in WNBA, Phoenix Golden State. We've seen this go from 6.5 to 8 here at Golden for the Valkyries. And I think that the Mercury are undervalued. They're playing bad, and I don't want to roll into it. Kyle saying, did you ladder the first 3 under for Phillies, Toronto? Yeah, I made it a 2. I made it first 3 under 2. I used Ron Crawford's -1 calculator. And Von Polo says, anytime Indiana gets a double-digit lead, take the other team. So Sammy Kolker on the Wings plus 5.5 as well. Everybody's going to want to be on the Wings. That's why I knew Minnesota was the spot in my estimation. Now, you guys have timed it perfectly now that you waited for the 5.5, but I thought we had, the cash flow. So we have 94% of the tickets on Dallas and 89% of the cash. Fucking heaven. Absolute heaven. I can't, I don't know if I'm going to watch the game. A lot of other action going on, but I just think the Lynx are the spot here. But you guys timed it perfectly, getting the 5.5. So Jose, let's put a bow on the show. We have a big daily sesh coming up next, but let's talk about action here. We have the shotgun play of the day. It is the Marlins. So lockstep with our guy, Ronnie Crawford. I got them first 5. Or is it first 3 and first 5? Sorry, first 5 in full game, -115 full game, -127 first 5. Shotgun play of the day is the Miami Marlins. Is using the Lynx with the Reds first 5. That's a great idea. So that's how he's getting on the Reds. That works here as well. DC Capper, great job on the Spurs, my friend. Dougie Wise has cashed 6 straight free bands, plays of the day, and 12 of his last 15. By the way, the Price is Right show has just dropped on Pub Sports MMA as well. So shotgun play today for the Marlins. Julian Cesario, Marlins, Diamondbacks first 5 under 4, Red Sox first 5, and Phillies money line. Daniel Hernandez on Baltimore money line, Pirates money line, Blue Jays money line. Stacks play today. Number 1, Jose Ramirez over 1.5 bases. Number 2, Seager over 1.5 bases. Coin is on the Marlins, the first 5 under 4.5 in the Tigers game, and Pittsburgh team total over 3.5. Gamma Ray play today from the Nuke Workers, the Pirates -110. Of course, Nuke Worker and Peter Loshak, 10 points separate them. They're 40 clear of everybody else. What a fun race. Free bands play today's cash 6 straight. It is the Pirates minus 107. He's also on the first 5 minus 135. Taint play today is the Tigers minus 1.5 plus 165, going for a big score. Just my 2 cents play today's Rays, Braves, parlay at plus 227. And Pig Milk play of the day. Pig Milk play today. Second period goal scored in the first 5 minutes. Second period goal scored in the first 5 minutes of Canes Knights. That's a plus 142 banger for our guy, Billy Friedman. Jose, we are running real nice, my friend. Great to have you back in business with us. Please, can you bless our action and lead us into the future? Thank you guys so much for rocking with us. So many great friends and colleagues in the chat. Thank you for your support. Jose, can you give them a thank you and lead us into the daily session?
Yep. Shout out to you guys all in the chat here. Kelly, got Rod, the Godfather. I just talked
By the way,
about
Kelly asking if TJ puts his picks on X. He does not, but he puts it in our Discord.
There you go there. Rod, Pig Milk by the guy, Justin McKelvey, our guy Billy there as well. Shout out to you. The Godfather, I just went over some World Cup action earlier, so just go back for the first bet review for that one. Shout out to you guys, Troy Torrance as well. Troy, I hope you're buying the Madden this year, and I hope you're breaking your fingers back out with your boy on the cover. I can't wait to see that. And obviously, Troy, I would eat you. Well,
Jesus.
Hold on.
Jesus.
Hold on.
Oh,
Pause. Troy, I would dominate you in Madden. So just name the place, Troy, and we'll play the new Madden together. Shout out to you. Appreciate everyone in the chat. Let's go make some money and leche. A Los Bookmakers.
It's easier to sleep in the black when you're losing your ass and feeling so. You know what to do. Tune in to Pop Sports Radio. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's a roller coaster ride. You're gonna catch a bad beat. No problem, keep your head up and just bet the spreadsheet. It's easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. All thanks to Jeff Slaughter. These shows have our backs. POD's always rolling, especially the stats. Easier to sleep in the black. It's easier to sleep in the black. We got Jimmy, Jose, Debbie and the fam, Dutch Wine Time, Spooner and OG Wham. So hit the like button, don't say that you can't. If you know what's best, just put your money on tape.